We are live.
We are live. No, hello. Welcome. I'm Sean.
Harry.
Hello. And we just kind of decided to do this kind of, it was a couple of days ago, I think.
To basically celebrate 60 years of Doctor Who.
Anyway, moving on. So we were originally going to do like three separate videos. One on the Star Beast. Yeah. One on the Daleks in colour, and then one on Paradise Towers, mainly because I'm going through my Sylvester McCoy run right now, and it was kind of an interesting story. And then you decided, I'm going to watch it.
We've also got Any Other Business, which there is other business within surrounding Doctor Who.
Indeed, yeah. And so we thought, well, fuck it, let's just go live and do a whole video. Just incorporate the whole lot. And Daniel, the legend that has got his Davros and Friends Wrestle with Pop Culture, welcome. And David Hammond, I see you in the comments as well. Welcome aboard. But it was Daniel who was like, "Oh, you're going to do it live?" And I thought, let's do it live. Yeah. We'll just cover all bases.
So, without further ado, Star
Beast. So, the first of the 3 60th anniversary specials by our Lord and Master.
I didn't entirely hate it. But it wasn't great by any means.
No, it was very
because I know the Star Beast comic book.
Yeah,
I knew exactly what was coming, so it was just a bit of
an adaptation of something. With other stuff thrown in.
Exactly, and I was just kind of a bit like, well, I knew Meek was going to be evil because it's in the comic book.
Yeah, spoiler alert. But yeah, from a comic book that was in the 1980s.
So I'd already had the story spoiled for me already, long before this. They decided to make this story. So it's a bit of a weird one. But David Tennant,
there were parts.
With what he was given, he still does his thing. He does it brilliantly.
Yeah, and it's like no time has passed. There were some parts where he felt a little bit. It was almost like he was sort of toning it down a little bit. Like it was kind of. He wasn't his sort of, classic.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Well, I think what they're trying to convey is that he's the 10th, even though
he is the 10th. Yeah, but he's. I don't know why my face
is. He wasn't massively different to how he was.
No, I mean, in fairness, with interviews recently that I've seen when they've asked him, "Well, so is you played it differently?" And he said, "Well, there's no point in me coming back to play it completely differently because." People want to see me being the Doctor, sort of thing. But I thought on the whole he was pretty good.
I missed him. I really missed him. And to be fair, I've missed Doctor Who.
Well,
That's why it was great having him back again.
Yeah, that was good. I don't know about the breaking the fourth wall thing with him talking to the audience and then Donna talking.
Yeah, that was awful. I tried to put that out of my mind. The moment I saw it, I was like, oh no! And then the titles started. And I was like, thank God the titles started.
But it was like we were saying at the time. It's like, why don't they? If they wanted to do a recap, why don't they just do a recap
voiceover
with narration?
Exactly. Yeah. You know how Star Wars did it recently. Was it Kenobi?
Yeah.
Kenobi did it really well, where they had all the prequels also nicely condensed down.
Yeah.
And it was it, And I was like, great, I don't have to watch the prequels anymore. I can just watch this. This nice little breakdown of what happens in the first three Star Wars movies.
From that. But anyway,
that's another video. But this whole thing was just like, why was he standing there? And then
who are you talking?
What's going on?
But I don't know. It was almost like the actors were talking to us, but they weren't because they were in character.
It was almost like, do you remember that thing that happened 15 years ago when I was in charge of the show?
Yeah, and I spent like more fucking endings than Return of the fucking King to be like, I don't want to go.
I want to wrap everything up.
Yeah, because this is the end of Doctor Who.
Let's just marry off all the characters to each other. Yeah. So that's just we're going back too far.
To the fucking end of time. Oh God. Although I have to say that.
I'm sorry, but why does it have to be Donna? I hated Donna.
He's not a fan of Donna
in the series from season 4. I hated her ending. I hated the binary.
Well,
and then destroying the Daleks. Just that whole Dr. Donna thing, and it just annoyed me immensely. And if you've watched my worst 10
Top 10 worst Doctor Who episodes. Him and Tom did.
And this comes up really highly because it really derailed and a really, really good start to a story.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I kind of give Donna a pass because she's the first of the new Who companions anyway. Up until that point, who didn't want to jump the Doctor's buttons.
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
So there was a nice bit of a. I don't like the whole romantic thing with the Doctor anyway, but they've trashed a load of things out the window, so that's probably going to get fucking done again anyway. So
I wasn't even aware that Donna's husband had actually met the Doctor before, so that one threw me.
Yeah. I think
to be fair, I don't really remember the episode.
Wasn't it? No, that was the other. It was the Runaway Bride where she leaves that bloke at the end, but it's obviously not the bloke she ends up with. Yeah. Maybe I have to go back and watch series 4, even though I really can't be bothered.
I mean, I do remember it is in the End of Time.
Yeah, he's in the end.
There's a conversation with Bernard Cribbins, but
and they're making us wait for him because
they're waiting for Will
because he definitely films it. Because I remember seeing
it'll be the last scene before he regenerates into Tootie. I get
maybe, but yeah.
Prediction, Cookie Theory.
Yeah. Feel free to say RTD. Oh, don't worry. We've seen all of our top 10. I'm assuming, Daniel, if you haven't, go and watch that one from 4 years ago.
A large quantity of RTDs
he's in the top 10 worst, because he's a twat. But like we were saying before, he can.
RTD will be in the other business that we need to deal with because he said some stupid shit.
He said some very stupid shit, and it's like, dude, just keep. Like we were saying earlier, keep your mouth shut. Just write what you got to write.
And just let it get on with it.
Yeah.
Let the show speak for itself. But we'll come for that.
Yeah. And then it kind of, I mean, after that bit, you get the title sequence, and then it's just literally the Doctor straight away, which fair enough, because a lot of if we're taking this as it's his first Doctor's, a new Doctor's first story. Yeah. Then at least he gets on with it straight away. Do you know what I mean?
True. No messing around. Although he doesn't go through any regeneration trauma, so okay.
Yeah, well, maybe this is his regeneration trauma. The fact that he has his face again, maybe, don't know. Maybe it'll get explained away in the next 2 specials.
That's weak.
It's reaching. Weak. It's reaching. I know. I'm trying to give. Straws when they're on.
Apparently, it's a horror on a spaceship. Yeah, I watched the Next Time trailer and it gave nothing away. Which I was a bit like,
right, okay. I guess. I mean, it kind of gave me kind of midnight vibes somewhat. And there was, I don't like that episode. But I hope we were saying before. We won't go too much into it, but the whole the political stuff. Hopefully, he's got it out of his system in this episode. Probably not, but let's just get out of the way, and then let's just focus on telling an actual Doctor Who story.
What about the Meep?
It was alright.
Yeah, it's just another Doctor Who monster
thing to say.
It's better in the comic book. It's better in the comic book that it appears in.
Yeah,
of the same title.
Yeah,
but I mean,
it's just again, it's Disney-fied, isn't it? It's a Disney toy. Yeah,
it is a Disney. Oh my god! Did anyone notice the big Disney sign at the end of the episode?
Yeah.
Oh my god, Disney!
Yeah, it's hard to get hopes high with RTD's messaging. And it's almost, dare I say, it was even more on the nose than Chibnall.
I felt like I'd been hit with a brick when I watched Chibnall, and this one felt like a freight
it was
train.
actually just put into
just
the
went
dialogue.
Straight for it. If it came out of the telly and hit me full, I was just like, "Oh my god!"
But we'll try not to harp on too much about that.
Anyway,
going on about the episode itself.
Just for the fact that they come back to the bit that I really hated with Donna and the Dr. Donna business and her being all super intelligent, that ridiculous shit from Journey's End.
Yeah, I
was just like, oh, here we go. I thought I'd never have to see it again, and here I am, 15 years later, get to see it all over again. Oh,
but they even did the Russell T Davies fucking trope, the reset button that he fucking loves to do.
Oh yeah, reset.
With hang on. So this what is it? A dagger?
You basically made a massive hole where there's lava in the ground.
Yeah.
You can just push a button and it just
all of that damage. is just undone with one fucking button. They're minding the message. This is just him being a shit writer.
He's just not very good at science fiction.
No.
He's good at his drama, but it comes to actual fiction, it's just like, what the hell are you doing?
Because you see, there's the scene where literally all of London is in
it's like
fucking
just cracking
flames.
us on fire, and then
think,
suddenly, reverse button.
Yeah, quick, flick, and then you've got the daughter doing the flick buttons as well, and it's like, and it passes through the generations. So it's like, what? No.
Like I said, I'm not touching that next scene with the barge pole.
No. Yeah. The unit soldiers, I suppose it was nice to see them, but then you had.
I don't like their redesign.
Yeah, no.
They all look a little bit too much like the Earthshock soldiers. They look like they come from the future.
Yeah.
They don't actually look contemporary. So
no, but then maybe, I don't know, because obviously like, Chibnall got rid of unit for a while, then he brought it back and then he got rid of it again.
The new scientific advisor. All right, cool.
All right. Apparently,
it's got some cool gadgets in a wheelchair.
It's like a James Bond, like missile shooting from a wheelchair and stuff, and
what else about this story? I mean,
what can we say without getting in trouble?
Yeah, that's true. It's one of those. I can't talk about that.
Yeah, well, this is the problem, though, isn't it?
Yeah, true. It's very true. Did you guys make of the mega crisis explanation?
Oh yeah, like we were saying about how it goes
what I'm trying genetically. To sideskirt, or we all get cancer within the next 5 miles around everywhere. So yeah, it was poorly written. In the same way that Russell T Davies does these things.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm not touching that anymore.
But
and that was the first story we got back.
Yeah. I know. I'm trying to think if there was anything of note. I mean, there were a couple of funny. He actually did a couple of funnies.
There was a couple of.
There were a couple of funnies in there.
I did laugh. I had more guffaw than I ever had for the last 3 seasons.
Yeah. With the little twist with the what I suppose it's not a twist with the comic, but with the warped warriors not actually being evil, but actually being.
Oh yeah, no, I knew all that.
Yeah. That's it. Spoilers.
This is the trouble being like a mega nerd.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It was just.
Let's just get on to something more palatable.
Yeah, we'll get that out of the way.
The Daleks in colour.
The Daleks in colour, yes. So.
I had my reservations to begin with.
Yeah.
Because the moment they said it wasn't going to be the whole 7 parts all in colour, and they went, we're going to have an edited version of it. Oh, down to 75 minutes. I was like.
Well, it's what I said to you in the chat. It was like, so basically they've cut it down from 7 parts to 3. If you're going to be really technical, with every 25-minute episode,
they've taken it down to its bare bones.
Yeah.
You lose all the motivation that any of the characters have.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of was looking at it going, in my mind, what would I cut? And they left the one big scene in which I was a bit like, well, you might as well have cut it, which is the whole bit where they jump the gap in the.
Oh yeah.
And then he lets himself cut off without any of the build up to that whole scene. You were saying that what was weird that was missing was Atreides speaks to him.
Yeah.
And he's like, we have to go forward. He's like, no,
we can't.
No one would notice. If we leave now, they'll just go on and we will survive.
Yeah, they're all going to die anyway. I don't want to go ahead.
Without any of that setup, his sacrifice and him jumping the gap and not wanting to jump the gap doesn't make any sense.
And then cutting the rope, and it's like, so you keep that bit in, but the motivation behind him doing that.
It was an interesting experiment.
I love the colour. I thought the colour was great.
What they've technically done is a marvel. It looks beautiful. But trying to do modern pacing with something that was filmed in the 60s, it's jarring. I mean, the moment there's a weird bit like, why did they even keep the scene in where she sees the flower on the floor? Because I know that scene precedes a bit where they see the metal creature. Yeah. And I thought the metal creature bit could be cut out anyway. It doesn't do anything.
Well, I suppose it's
other than it's an alien
petrified.
Well, showing us that it's alien. You know? That was all that was there for. So I was like, oh, that's right that gets cut. And then it's like, oh, look me over here. And they're suddenly all looking at the city. And I was like, oh, maybe that's because I've seen it. Maybe I've seen the Daleks so many times.
Yeah. It's embedded. It's ingrained into the way that it's told.
Just make me go, oh, that.
Well, again, the whole thing of they cut that whole bit of Susan, like something touching Susan's shoulder. Try and say that when you're drunk. I'm not there yet.
Susan's shoulder.
Yeah, and then like her sort of explaining to the TARDIS crew, like something got me, and they're trying to reassure her.
Yeah, trying to calm her
and they're like,
down.
oh, you just think I'm like, I'm just a silly child and all this sort of stuff. And he's, oh no, I'm sure it's all right. Like, we believe you don't. Like the conversations you have with Barbara about her being like,
you
believe, you believe you don't. You
have to realise the Doctor's like, he's got such a scientific mind, he can't see your point of view.
Yeah. So then when it comes to her, when she then meets the Thal, it's like,
sorry, I scared you earlier.
Yeah, that's like, gone, and it's just, like, sorry, I didn't mean to like touch your shoulder. I just wanted to get your attention or something like that. Yeah. So, and that bit seemed to be worth cutting out. The bit where
some of the modern editing worked, but some of it really didn't.
I mean, the flashbacks for me. There's so many, one or two, okay, but the fact that it's almost like they're treating the audience like idiots, which I suppose a lot of them are.
We'd been watching it for 7 weeks.
Yeah, no, we hadn't just watched it.
Exactly. It was, some of the edits didn't make a great deal of sense.
No, and it's
there were some good bits, like when I was talking about this earlier, that when Ian's trying to sort of like will Susan to get on with it.
Yeah.
And they cut, and it's one of those things. It would have been cut that way if they had the ability to cut it that way
originally.
Yeah. To get that, it's a modern cutting technique that isn't used in 60s television.
Like between like Ian saying, "Come on, Susan, come on, Susan," and then you've got the Daleks.
Those things kind of work. But I didn't understand why they changed the Dalek. They re-recorded some of the Dalek lines.
Well, they
redid some of the
Well, there was a whole exposition bit where they got Nicholas Briggs in to basically explain
what happens.
The whole scene of Susan writing what the Daleks want them to do, and that is just explained away. Like, because I was like, oh, that intonation's it. Oh, that's Nicholas Briggs, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which fair enough, but then to cut that whole scene out and just like, we'll tell them that it was from Susan. I'm like, that is definitely Nicholas Briggs. The music was awful. Shit. Yeah. Because it made it sound so whimsical, like the bit where where Ian's in the Dalek, and it's like this really kind of like
cuts together really quickly, so it's like we'll drive the scene along.
Yeah,
what's going
and it's
on?
like this trying to make it sound funky in 60s, but it's not.
It just things like that just didn't work.
No.
To try and that's that modern influence of trying to get we're going to get her to move on, and it's like, oh, hang on.
And another modern trope of the music sounding way too bloody loud as well. Like you've got a nice with the Dalek City where you just hear it go dum dum, and it's like, that's almost all you need with a little bit of ambience. But they did that, and then
there was some cool bits, like when they tried to take the TARDIS off and the cloister bell.
Oh, the cloister! I didn't mind the cloister bell.
Little changes like that.
Didn't mind
so much, but. Yeah, and
then they've got like the new the Dalek gun.
Like I said before, it's one of those ones. It's there, but I'm going to watch the old one.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to go back to that.
And unless they're going to do all 7 parts in colour,
which they could have just done.
Well, I mean, I understand it for like the scheduling and putting it out for the 60th anniversary. Fine, that's that version we've watched.
Yeah.
But when they do the Blu-ray, it should just be all 7 parts.
Yeah. Because why would you fork out how much money it's going to cost that
to do
Blu-ray if you're just going to get what's on BBC iPlayer anyway?
Well, yeah.
And that's obviously you're going to have the effects. You're going to have like the behind the scenes of how they did it and stuff. But then it's like surely the incentive behind that is here's all 7 parts in colour, and then this is what we cut, and then you can see it all. You know what I mean? Like rather than we edited
every personal version that could be of.
Unless they edited the black and white version.
But I mean, the amount of people online who were just like, "Oh yeah, I'm cancelling my order for
and it's like fair enough.
It was dreadful.
Yeah, it's not worth it in the slightest, to be honest with you. And it's a weird one because despite having said all that, when they did like the Next Time trailer and it was like all the other, and for a minute I got really excited. I was like, oh, but what are they going to do to those stories?
Yeah, they cut all those ones down.
And especially with War Games, what are they going to do with that? Like 10 parts down to freaking another 75 minutes.
Another 75 minute episode.
He goes from War Games to the Time Lords and regenerates. Oh, there we go.
It might work with some stories and not others.
Well, 4 parts.
It just didn't really. It didn't. For me, it just felt really choppy all over the place.
really disjointed,
and then really tried to rush the ending, which is why I was thinking a bit. Like I said, why keep that whole scene in where the guy sacrifices himself when they don't really do
anything else?
The build-up in those 3 parts leads to that happening.
Yeah.
And without any of that build-up, it feels really flat.
Yeah.
I was just sort of like, oh, I'm not sure
that
worked.
And I mean, they kind of kept the Daleks' motivation. If you could sort of like, they didn't kind of cut most. They left most of the Dalek stuff in that was kind of poignant.
Apart from the bit that made alien, it's like they didn't quite understand what Susan. Like, what's this Susan? And they're like, we don't. They didn't.
Oh yeah, that's the scene that they cut with writing the thing.
Weird.
So, but then they left the. I would have thought of all the scenes they would have cut, it would have been the bit where you see like the tentacle under the thing, because that never comes back later, even the original one, does it?
No,
you don't see it back. So I suppose maybe it was a hint, but then they added more sound effects to it, like
they wanted to make that literally sound squelching.
Yeah. I mean,
also, there's a bit where because I know what happens. Ian suddenly got the camera in his hand.
Yeah,
and they don't have the whole scene where they rip the camera out of the wall. It's like,
or the bit where he's like on the shoulder, like Susan's on his shoulder.
Yeah, that whole bit.
They try and do a distraction, and then you don't see the distraction. So you should have just cut the bit out where he says, "Let's make
talking about knowing that they're being surveilled."
That's right.
That's it. I will rip that out of the wall, and then they do, and then he's got a piece of it to go jam the door.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out how you like highlight comments because I haven't really done that. Oh yeah, was it star comment? You know when you have the comment come up on the screen. Daniel, you're like a veteran at this now. we haven't really did very often.
Well, maybe we can just push star comment and see.
Star comment.
We can always experiment.
Does that work? Well, I can't see it come up. Maybe you'll see it on your because you've got it running there on the old YouTubes.
Oh, weird. I'm there, but I'm also.
But you're there. Also over there. We're inverted. We inverse the ratio.
Weird.
Yeah. Oh well. That's you. Anyway. Yeah, but like I said, I'm intrigued to see what they do because I'm with the other ones that they've done. I didn't know that. I only thought that they would. I knew I heard the rumor of them working on the war games.
Yeah.
But the fact that they've obviously done a shitload more as well.
Yeah, especially with that, like the little teaser.
Yeah. Well, obviously you got the Celestial Toy Maker. I mean, and then Web Planet. But at least it's only 4 parts. No, it's not. It's 6, isn't it? No, click on the comment, not start. Oh, I see. Like this. Hey, there we go. Our Luddites over here.
Understanding how technology works.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's. I see what they were trying to do with it. I thought they were trying to do something positive, but the edit was just terrible.
Yeah.
Really. Yeah.
Yeah, and the music they decided to add.
Yeah,
didn't add anything. Anything just took away.
Yeah,
the actual soundtrack to the Daleks is quite iconic anyway.
Yeah, and like I said, with the boom, then you got that sort of boom.
But hey ho.
Yeah, I think we'll see. I mean, at least we can maybe hope that maybe they've kind of put that out as a blueprint and gone right. Maybe we can learn from this, or maybe they're like, no, everything's perfect that we do because we're the modern.
To be fair, considering.
Hey, it's Paul. Logic's finest. Sean, the beard is back. Yeah, it is.
Bing.
How you doing, Paul? It's been a long time, man.
That's going to happen a lot now.
Yeah, now that
we. There we go. I can see this.
Oh, yeah, David. Did they mention they were doing more colorization? I think that would be good. Any of the world would be good. Well, yeah, because that. Well, at the end, the sort of teaser thing at the end showed that they had done more in colour.
Yeah.
How much of that they've actually done, and they've just shown us snippets, I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, what would be our top ones to colorise?
What would be your top ones to colorise? Probably, maybe Ice Warriors, Seas of Death.
Oh, that's a good shout.
Yeah.
That is a good shout. Especially because the set's so large and the way that they filmed it.
Yeah.
I think the techniques that they used to recolorize would work really well on it because the film quality is actually really good.
Yeah.
You kind of have to avoid some of the ones that are not great, which is odd. Like it's a lot of William Hartnell ones are really ropey with the quality.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'll probably have to be a Patrick Troughton.
Yeah, maybe 2 of the Cybermen. Because you don't really have to edit that much, do you? You just colour the fucking thing.
Yeah, colour the thing and let it play for an hour and a half.
Exactly.
It's not exactly a long story.
Sure, I'm going. Where's Jack? Oh yeah, so Jack's working.
Yeah.
So what we've been doing recently is there's like 5 of us on board. 5 non-holics now.
We've inflated the.
Yeah. So like where we can, if we can't all get together in video, we'll do like combinations of each other. Like
Paul, you'll be glad. I did read an article the other day that they said they were doing the War Games. Yeah. As the next one that they're attempting to do. It makes sense because it's a 10-part story, and there's probably quite a lot you can chop out of it. Frankly.
Yeah. Yeah, true. Without making it, hopefully, not as disjointed as the Daleks.
Actually, to be fair, I think it's quite well paced anyway. So it might edit well to have the modern cutting.
Yeah, you'd have to.
That's the thing. That's the trouble. You're going to have to really go through them and sort of pick out the ones that have got reasonable ones. That because the Daleks wasn't a reasonable one to do. It is slow.
Yeah.
But you
especially
can't.
In the middle.
It's weird now watching that edited version. It's just sort of like
they've gone the other extreme. Yeah, they went. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just trying to think. I'd love something like the Mind Robber.
The Mind Robber would be cool.
The Mind Robber,
yeah, especially
because it's got a lot of the different costumes, different
different sort of settings and stuff. Yeah, the Chase that might be quite a good one with the different settings again, like the Mary Celeste and then the whole
and it's also got the Daleks. I mean, Daleks is always a good draw.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe that. And again with the Chase, it's okay. It's 6 parts, but
yes,
we have spawned like gremlins. Yeah.
I got water on me.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe those will be. Well, I mean, we already know from that teaser what they have started working on, because you've got Web Planet, Celestial Toy Maker.
But the Celestial Toy Maker is 1 part.
Well, true, but unless they animate the rest,
or someone's discovered it.
Maybe they found them. Is the next classic collection box set? I think. Well, yeah, maybe. I mean, I can't believe they haven't done either season 13 or season 14 yet. To be quite honest with you,
they'll be last.
You reckon they'll be last? Yeah, maybe.
It'll be the last one done. I mean, the last DVD to come out was Terror of the Zygons, as in terms of when you got all the collection from the classic series. The last DVD to come out was the Zygons. Terror of the Zygons.
Yeah, true.
Which is that finished season 13.
I really don't like this colour idea. The Daleks in colour was awful. Yeah, no, fair play, mate. Fair play. And don't get me wrong. It wasn't like we're not saying it was great. Like I mean, colour's very subjective anyway, isn't it? So you either like something like that or you don't. But the actual edit of it, don't get us wrong, wasn't great at all. Very much, disjointed mess. But we'll see. Again, maybe that was just them sort of dipping their toes in the water and seeing how it goes on. Yeah, I mean, that is true. And I mean, at the time, I guess maybe it was better that it was.
Well, serialised. You have to remember, it's difficult to judge it by modern standards. I still think the 25-minute format works.
Yeah.
I think if you stuck a 25-minute format in this day and age, and we had more cliffhangers, we would actually have the same sort of draw that would have been there.
Well, yeah, I mean, that was a big sort of linchpin of the classic series, the cliffhanger.
The cliffhanger was the big thing that always kept. How the hell is the Doctor going to get out of this this week? And sometimes it was lame. You kind of go, what? He just didn't shoot him, he shot someone next to him. To the side.
Yeah. Well, the Master has finally defeated me. It hasn't, though.
No, I mean, the capacity has got some classic ones. Like, if you watch some of the cliffhangers in the Fury from the Deep.
Yeah.
Now it's time for the Battle of the Giants. And I'm thinking to myself, what Battle of Giants?
Yeah.
You're just a sick seaweed creature.
Yeah, I was thinking the Twilight Zone is quite a good comparison, and yeah, that sort of ilk. And I suppose they had to, could only do what they could do with the
also, the quality of writing was better.
Oh yeah, I mean it was actually
it had to be.
I
always find this with the fact that when you watch older television, the writing has to be better because the technology's not there.
So it has to supplement.
So you have to have good writing to actually keep people interested.
Yeah, exactly.
And also characters over time to be able to, build their motivations and then have them do what they need to do.
Yeah.
Works better.
And Paul was exactly on the money there. New Who is made for American TV. No attention span, silly, over the top. And he is an American. So fair enough.
I mean, and to be fair, I think what you just said there summed up the Star Beast, really. It was
very much.
And silly.
Yeah. And I think maybe that's okay. Fair enough. You could say maybe that's what has been missing for the last 3 or 4 years or more. But yeah, it doesn't mean it makes it good. You know what I mean? Very cartoony.
That's 2 of our main subjects. I'll deal with this one now. RTD and the changing of Davros.
Yeah, here we go, Daniel, who made an excellent video on this the other day as well, by the way. And it is rightly getting the credit it deserves.
I get so frustrated with those sort of things because I'm going, oh yeah, we're going to make a decision,
whether you like it or not,
and then it's like, we think it's problematic that the portrayal in cinema and the modern world is that people in wheelchairs are evil.
Or they've been associated. You can't associate someone who has a disability as evil because it's problematic. But then you go, but anyone could be a fucking arsehole. You know what I mean? It does not stop someone being a twat. Just like it doesn't stop someone being a good person.
Not even that. If that was your reasoning for not doing it, it's like, oh yeah, we're not going to use Davros anymore because of this, and they just don't use him at all, fine.
Yeah.
I can get cool. If it's a character you're not going to bring back for those reasons, fine. Whatever your, personal morality is.
Or what he feels like he has to do.
But to just go, no, we're still going to use him.
But this is how it is.
He's now not had the accident. He's not half Dalek.
Which this is what puzzles me, right? Because again, I said at the time when I watched it, it was like,
is this?
Pre-Genesis Davros. But the more I thought about it, hang on, that doesn't make any sense because he'd made, he was already in his life support unit while making the Daleks. You mean it's fucking Genesis of the Daleks? The clue's in the fucking name, and yet I thought, oh, okay, whatever. It's a bit of fluff. It's children in need, and then he had to open his fucking mouth,
and he was just like, well, okay.
And at first, I was like, is he? No, he's not. He's not serious. This is a comedy. This must be the comedy part of it as well. And it's like, no. He's properly like, we absolutely stand by this, and it's like, but you're contradicting your own storyline back in 2008, and that interview that I sent you the other day was on Twitter about him going, well, there's no point bringing back Davros if you don't portray him as the iconic character. Because now, oh great, so what? He's just an angry bloke,
just a dude.
an angry white dude. There's no iconography there. He's just an angry man, and it's like, fuck off.
And then we get the next announcement. I'll tell you, we're going to give the Daleks a rest. We're just not going to use them.
Well, yeah, all right. I mean, you can argue, they've been overused quite considerably, but then Doctor Who is synonymous with Daleks. Okay, maybe that appearance in Children Need was their get out clause for the next year. Yep. So he also put yeah. I mean, this is it. I think I was kooky theory, like conspiracy thing of the week from me. Is that maybe RTD was actually guiding Chibnall the whole time?
He was just in the background.
He was in the background pulling the strings until he could go in and then really hammer it fucking home. And be like, look, you do this for a few years. I'm busy in America at the moment, but yeah, let's carry on with this shit. I mean, again, like I say, my only hope is that he's got it out of his system now. But that would be very naive of me to say because the whole era is going to be full of it.
Bringing it back into the Davros thing, it's just like he was like, oh yeah, we've got this association, like people thinking a certain way of people in wheelchairs. And I was like, I've never looked at Davros and thought, there's a person in a wheelchair. I'm going to start hating people in wheelchairs.
I mean, Daniel, for God's sake, did you ask people in wheelchairs about how they felt about this? No. Daniel he's made another excellent video since then, but the video about his heartbroken response to it is fucking on the money, 100%. Because it's like, well, you've not really kind of considered the fact that maybe I really love the character, no matter what. RTD has shown on every choice. Exactly. Well, he even said it. Goes tough. Like when someone on his Instagram was like saying, "Oh, well, the fact that you're doing this change because you think it's gonna retroactively make things worse when you look at him every time you watch it, and it's going to associate evil disability is quite frankly bizarre and undermines an iconic villain in Doctor Who history." And it was just like his response, tough. So it's like, I'm going to do it whether you fucking like it or not. Well then, enjoy the ratings, mate. That's all I'm saying. Enjoy those ratings, dip and dive.
Yeah.
It's just bizarre.
And I also just think, like, how moronic do you have to be to, if you're watching something and go, well, this obviously must be how all these people are. It's like, oh, hang on a minute, that's a sweeping generalisation to think that.
Yeah, exactly. Davros isn't in a wheelchair; he's in a life support device that also moved around. Yeah, but don't let context get in the way of angry agenda. No. Yeah, or not only that, but Arsenal T. Davies is his own fucking context, contravening himself. I'll put it in the chat for Harry.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Oh yeah, what the your video, mate? Yeah, well, I think we'll send the link and all that fun jazz.
As we get better at learning how to use technology.
Well, it's supposed to be very live stream. So it's a bit like, oh yeah, there we go. We'll just do that.
That's how that works.
That's what that button does. David, yeah, I don't get why you would deliberately say device, but this is the thing. It's because in his mind, he doesn't see it as that way. He sees it as this is how you should think, and anyone else who doesn't think like this, doesn't need to watch the show.
Also, it felt a little bit deliberate as well. It was like, oh, this will piss people off.
Oh yeah, of course he is. I think.
I mean, I'm doing my best not to get like hooked, line and sinker by it.
Yeah.
Although you feel like we're all here, we're all massive fans. Like we all love the show.
Yeah, well, at least
I just don't love what it's become. It's becoming this weird mouthpiece.
Yeah. And I mean, there are hints of it even before Chibnall came along. Like Moffat was guilty of it a few times as well. But even going back to like Series 7 and even 8, some weird shit was going on about.
But he was responsible for bringing back Davros in the first place.
Well,
his iconic show, in his iconic view. What? Where did this like veil of like sincerity come from that you were like, suddenly going, oh yeah?
Well, he went off to America for a while, and then he obviously was like came back a complete. Well, I'll say completely different. He probably was always. I think there was an air of him that was always like this, but now he's finally found the time where he can really just go fucking crazy about it, and it's I don't know. Might sound like a Rambo RTD is gay, which I have zero problem with, but now he's made Doctor gay on screen. At this point, Doctor name. It's been like, arguably, it's been like that since 2017.
Yeah.
Cool, you know what I mean? Yeah, he thinks his way is the way. Yeah, this is the way. This is the way.
I have spoken.
Yeah, and then who knows? That's just the thing. Who knows what else they're gonna fucking do with it? And
I mean, it's just one of those ones. I flip flop all the time, Neil.
Yeah.
And so I get to the point where I was really excited for the 60th anniversary. I thought, really, really going to enjoy this. And then in the back of my mind, I go, oh, it's Russell T Davies now.
Yeah. And even if you take all the woke stuff aside, with his stories. Most of them weren't that great.
Yeah.
And the best episodes were from other people.
You revisit those 4 seasons, his stories that he wrote aren't the best.
No, if you think about it, like
he did get the feel right. He always got the drama right. His science fiction's terrible.
But it was also like you could tell he knew like classic because you randomly stuck the fucking Macra in there.
Yeah.
And like the Emperor Dalek, and you think, okay, he knows his stuff.
But he's fucking stuff that you can't.
It doesn't. Well, didn't exist at the time.
This is what annoyed me about that. This is probably a rant that I've had previously. I would like to.
Agreed, Paul.
The 2005 series came back, and it was trying to give you opportunities to like show your mates, like, oh yeah, this is what the show used to be.
Yeah.
So you get like a little throwback, like the Macra, and I go, oh yeah, the Macra in the old series, and then like I think Sean turned around to me at the time and was like, oh, can we watch the episode they're in? It's like,
this was
no,
me.
it doesn't.
It doesn't. Well, at the time there was literally nothing.
And then the Emperor Dalek was the next one, and it was like,
that doesn't exist.
Can we watch the episode with the Emperor Dalek in? No, it doesn't exist either.
Yeah, yeah. It was handpicked by
so all the way through his
that's exactly
tenure.
it, Daniel. That's what I reckon as well.
All the way through his tenure, he would do this, and I'd be like, I've got no way to show anybody all the stuff that I have. I have my entire DVD collection, and be like, none of it harps back to it. It's only until when Moffat took over, he actually started to throw in references, and it was like, oh, that's a good story. Yeah, we can check that out.
Mm.
And even then, it wasn't like brilliant, but
yeah. I had to use nostalgia bait to fucking classic then, wasn't it? He hasn't ever. Yeah, no, that's right. And even during his heyday, it was still stupid shit like Love and Monsters and fucking Fear Her, and then you go to series 3 and you've got that awful fucking finale at the end of The Last of the Time Lords, and it's like, there was a good setup there, but again, it was the reset button. Again, not just like, the political stuff, but he just loves a reset button. He did it again tonight. And he did it and with like just a few flicks and switches, and it's like, oh, everything's fine. Oh, but it's not about like if anything should make sense. It's about the message. And so even the episode itself, trying to ignore those things. The same thing I tried to do with the Timeless Children. I was like, well, I knew the canon breaking thing was coming because it'd been reported about by the YouTubers that do that, who have got inside information, stuff like that, and it came to fruition. But it's like, okay, right, that aside, can we just enjoy the story on its own? No, no, because there's no logic to it whatsoever. Yeah. So he threw over the BBC would let him. He said the classic fans held him back. Yeah, and even though supposedly he's a classic fan himself, it just does. It's just bizarre.
Well, no, he went through the whole phase of like, fan service is a dirty word.
Yeah, it's a bad thing. You shouldn't really do it. And it's like, well, then why would you even bring back Doctor Who in the first place? Just like just create your own show, which you did, but that's neither here nor there right now. Several. True, no, it did. It did, because again, the leading up to that, and again, this is a hallmark not just of Russell T Davies, but New Who in general. You have a good setup, and then it shits the bed in the second part or the third part.
Oh yeah, no, I totally agree. They were bad.
Yeah. Like you say, Paul, most of our top 10s, all 4/5 of our top 10s, mostly Russell T Davies episodes. Yeah. So it's not like he wasn't. He was
Secret Books of Saxon. I mean, we'll come back to that bullshit.
Oh God, yeah. So he was writing. When he was Lord President, the Master was writing books. In the event that he would choose not to regenerate.
Yeah. Lucky knew it was going to happen.
Yeah.
Oh fuck
me. No, yeah. To be fair, you're not wrong. I think. Maybe he was not a fan of it. It was probably why he probably thought, oh, I know about it, and I'm going to just laugh at everyone by thinking that I do know about classic Who. But actually, it's a dirty word, and we can't say that shit anymore. I don't know, man. I think purely, like I said before, 60th anniversary. It's an anniversary thing. Get them out of the way. Try and enjoy some elements of it, even though I'm
enjoying David Tennant.
David Tennant, he was
good.
Yeah,
good. He's still good now.
Again,
he can make things. He makes what they're giving him entertaining.
Yeah,
even though
I
am cringing at half of the lines in the new.
Oh yeah,
in Star Wars man.
And you can tell it just doesn't seem like something.
It also seems really insincere.
Oh, it does.
Considering
Yeah,
how
it's
badly the
manufactured.
last 4 seasons went, to have them all going, I was a brilliant woman, and you're going to go, no, those seasons were terrible.
That
and we
fucking
stopped
bit
talking
after
about
that bit. Yeah,
and we
you're
stopped
talking about
the 13th Doctor.
Yeah.
Can we just like draw a line underneath it? It was a time it happened.
Yeah.
We all took bad drugs once.
Yeah.
And
we
we'll just
needed,
go, we were in
needed.
a phase, it went through a phase, it's gone through it now. Can we just
move on? But we can't.
Leave it alone. Like, you know, just seal it up.
Again, that's why I'm like convinced that my weird conspiracy theory is right, because he keeps mentioning it, and even in this episode where fucking Donna goes, "Oh, maybe you should have stayed a woman because blah 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 blah." It's like, oh yeah, so
as a man, you're a fucking idiot.
And Tanner's proper like he's proper cuckolded there when like Donna's husband goes, "Oh, aren't you worried about me going off with a man in the TARDIS?"
No, not worried about him,
but not him. Skinny man. Oh, that's another thing. It's like it kept going on about skinny. It's like, are you weight shaming now, Russell? Yeah, because he's skinny.
Okay, yeah, no, you're quite right. Now the courtroom scene was ridiculous.
Oh,
every time they mention the
like
the Shadow Proclamation, it's a dumb idea anyway, and it's a stupid name.
Yeah, like seriously. The bit where it's like, oh, maybe that's just a quirky trope of the 14th Doctor, but no, it was dumb. I mean, the only thing I can think of that maybe there was something like the sonic screwdriver.
It was nice that he wasn't waving it around like a fucking magic wand,
and he was he was making shields out of it and shit. I thought, okay, that was kind of interesting. Stuff. And like I said, it looked a bit like Mass Effect shield, like the biotic stuff. Yeah, and I did. We mentioned. I know maybe when we were talking about it before, but the TARDIS does look great. Like that's probably the only bit of the episode that I went, "Wow, that's cool," and it happened right fucking end of the episode.
I did like the TARDIS though.
Yeah,
the TARDIS does look
really good. Yeah, although
it's instantly been blowing up at the end of the episode.
Yeah, which might change back again.
Redesigned to something else
again. Yeah, which is going to look really, really tanky. Lazy writer who used old tropes to make new Who. So since I've used to watch Doctor Who now, does the say I'm the Doctor, use my pronouns. Do you know what, right? There was a scene in this episode which was not far off that. Yeah. He says, like talking to the Meep in the house, and he goes, "Oh, so what is he or what is she or something?" And then the daughter goes, "Oh, are you assuming it's pronouns?" And then it goes, and then the Doctor goes, "Oh, sorry. I'm sorry, I never normally use my pronouns. What are your pronouns?" And the Meep goes, "I have no pronouns. I am the definite article." And then he goes, "Oh yeah, I use that all the time." Blah blah blah. So it's just like, shit like that. It's just unnecessary. Nobody gives a fuck about that shit. It's so like, ugh.
I mean, obviously we do. We complain.
Oh well, yeah, we do. Yeah, you obviously do. Yeah, he's played Devil Advocate for people like, "No, you're clearly focused." It's just you could do it more subtly. You know what I mean?
The classic series did it way more subtly anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, okay, just give me a potted history, but there's two stories I can think of, and if you compare them against each other, you've got the Green Death, and you've got the fucking arachnids in Sheffield.
Oh, arachnids in the UK.
They are exactly the same fucking story, but one is infinitely better than the other because it's done in a much better way and far more subtle, even though it isn't being very subtle at all. Well, the Green Death isn't a subtle story.
And it's also got
but it doesn't feel like your head bashed over with a fucking mallet.
Yeah. I mean, one can only hope that this next episode is more of an isolated thing and it's just those two, and it's like, I'm happy with that because then at least it's kind of like. I am
worried though that I'm slow. I'm losing my patience.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I completely stopped and then was watching it out of morbid curiosity.
Yeah, and I think this is what that was.
And then obviously making content. So because when I get upset, I do start ranting.
Well, we got upset with.
Although I stopped drinking, so I'm much more
coherent. It's just me on the Steve Risers today. There's only two though, so sorry.
It is getting to that point where it's just like much more of it. I'm just going to be like, it's going to step off again.
What are your pronouns? Ask about my feminist agenda. No toxic masculinity here. Gold boss on his own. New Who, so please wake me when it's over. Well, you're going to be asleep a long time, mate, I'm afraid.
Yes,
it doesn't like...
yes, David. The Pating, the most powerful
yeah.
creature in the universe, needs to come back.
Oh, Sutek. Yeah.
Man, the one that can shoot out fucking laser bolts from his arsehole for all I care.
That's the thing. I still haven't bothered watching
Don't
that.
ever bother.
Yeah,
Don't bother watching
But then some reason I thought, oh, maybe Series 12 would be better. And it was the fucking worst of the lot.
See, that's where I stepped off. I got
we tagged in and out.
I was like, I'm not one.
Yeah.
I got through I watched the first season because I was like at uni and all my uni mates would watch it and we all used to watch it and then get to the end of it and go, did any of us actually enjoy
anything or just
and
know what the point of any of that was?
And it gets really bad because I got to about the 6th episode in and then I was like, I'm going to go play board games.
Well, yeah, there's always time to play board games.
I'd rather go and play something. I'd rather go and do something else I actually enjoy.
Two completely different.
Sit through my favourite program, which is now this horrible fucking mutated.
What one could say, Dalek. Yeah, but that's an insult to Daleks.
Dalek.
Yeah.
Well, it basically didn't resemble anything like what I liked.
No. Well, it was a completely different show. It was Doctor Who name only, just like Paul said. Yeah.
Masquerading.
Yeah, exactly. But we'll see. I don't know. I mean, one can only hope that Neil Patrick Harris makes a difference to the shit because that's what I'm kind of like intrigued to see how he does as the toy maker. Although it's back to Earth now, so it's like, oh no more of this Earthbound shit.
Yeah, no, Toothy Predator.
Tim Shaw.
Did you say Tim Shaw? I want to gouge my fucking eyes out.
It would certainly be more pleasurable than that bollocks. But yeah, thinking, Series 12. Oh, maybe I've heard the Cybermen are coming back. So
your favourite villains.
Yeah, so maybe they might treat them well. Oh, and then the Master coming back, and then everything else was just a fucking river of shit.
There was just too many out of character things that she did. I don't want to go. Can we just not talk about any of that? I don't want to talk about any of her tenure or Chibnall's bullshit.
No.
Let's go back to a simpler time.
A simpler time. A nice segue.
Into the Paradise
Towers. Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, let's put it this way: Paradise Towers, compared to what I've sat through and Jodie Whittaker's
even tonight,
is a masterpiece.
Doctor Who. Yeah,
it's a masterpiece by comparison.
Yeah.
Bring
back the loincloth. Oh, for the love of God, not the stumpy, wumpy Cybermen, shoot me down. Yeah, I know. I mean, what got me was that even when they brought the Mondasian Cybermen back for Moffat's one, they were still stumpy. Like, how can you be stumpy when you're those Cybermen?
Hydraulic.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So
Paradise Towers.
What
do you guys think of that?
A simpler time when the 80s Doctor Who was really finding its feet after being cancelled and brought back again.
Yeah, thanks for that, Michael Grade, arsehole. Although maybe he would have done everyone a favour.
It really is a story that's sandwiched between two shits, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, it's kind of like, I don't
want to call it a diamond in the rough.
It's kind of like a satisfying shit between like
diarrhea.
2 bouts of diarrhea. yeah. I mean, because going from that run when you've got Time and the Rani, then you've got Delta and the Bannerman. Oh no, it's between that and Delta and the Bannerman, isn't it?
Delta and the Bannerman's dreadful.
But yeah, no, the reason why I sort of brought that up was because I did a little sort of nice little thing on Twitter about, maybe let's raise everyone's spirits and talk about Paradise Towers. Who fancies that? Because I've literally just recently watched it, part of the run, and it was kind of like, Daniel, you love Paradise Towers. I've got more.
No, I agree with you. I don't love it, but I like what they tried to achieve. So when you get some of the elements early on, I don't know what's going to come. The Kang are insufferably irritating. But once you realise the storyline of they're all a bunch of kids that were left there after a big war that's happened and no one's come back to help them. Yeah. You kind of start to understand how they've gone fucking mental. Yeah, they portrayed a whole culture
Yeah.
That makes sense. And it was one of those ones I was like, it's ambitious what they tried to achieve.
Yeah.
But it does come as
the execution
really
is terrible.
irritating.
I mean, with the dustbin monster.
Oh, the cleaners.
The cleaners. Hungry, which I don't know whether they tried to imitate that later on in the Idiot's Lantern, which is probably what they did.
But the Rezzies were disturbing.
Weird. Yeah.
I mean, that moment when
the LT lady
they bring her in and they're all like, "Oh, we could really find you up here.
Yeah, you should really come back next time." And then they try and fucking like eat her alive. Although to be fair, I would not have minded if they did kill Mel because she's a pain in the ass. However, they were still weird.
Yeah. But I mean, but in a good way. It was like that kind of weird 80s randomness that goes with it.
Yeah, they're not the best supporting actors I've seen. No, but I mean, again, none of the supporting actors until you get back to basically 25 and 26 were really that good.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I mean, Richard Briers.
Oh
no, are you still hungry, my darling?
But I don't know everything you want.
Go downtown.
And then he becomes the architect. But even that was more like less of an insult than some of the shit that happened.
Yeah, true. I still take all of that. I take all of that over everything I've seen for the last 5 years.
Yeah. Oh no, Paul, don't. That's fine, man. Brent, that's what this is for. This is for. Carry on, mate.
But so yeah, you get unfortunate Peck.
Yeah, who's trying to be the hero
the whole time, and basically
trying to prove himself to Mel.
It's the early cuckold. Being completely hoodwinked by all the girls.
Yeah, red and blue.
But then I think the warming part is that he sacrifices himself.
Yes.
And all the cans come together.
And he's unalive
now.
Yeah, bless him. But he was right. He was right. The actor was rubbish though. He wasn't great. No. Maybe that was the point. Maybe he was supposed to be like really over the top and like.
That was the point. Yeah. He's a kid that's grown up with watching action hero and over the top characters.
Yeah.
And then he's trying
to become one.
And the thing is that, like I said, it's more than the sum of its parts.
I mean, again, McCoy's great in it, and then I like the sort of thing he does with it. Is it the vending machine?
Yeah, Ice Heart Doctor.
Ice Heart Doctor, yeah. That was pretty cool. And he's always sort of kind of like, again, as a trope that we come on later on in this season, he kind of knows what's going on from the beginning. Yeah. No, 100%. Well, anything with Tom Baker in it, really. But even like before then, there was it was a subtle eccentricity. Sometimes it was heightened depending on what story it was, and it's a very situation.
The first one that really kind of does it's the Romans. To my knowledge, where it actually brings in a long thread of humour that runs through. It's
because you got Aztec.
Who's the writer? Who's responsible for that one? Simpson.
What, the Romans?
Yeah.
I can't remember. We'll have to look it up. But yeah, we've got Rescuing the Romans. And they weren't written. Were they both written by the same person? I don't think they were, really. But yeah, I know what you're saying. Like you get little bits of that in William Hartnell, and then kind of.
Especially in like the Time Meddler.
Yeah.
Meddler's got some good humour in there.
Yeah. Well, you got the classic thing in the Aztecs where it's like, I made some cocoa, got engaged. Just a little bit. What would you say is the darkest classic story with those women in it? Oh, would you say it's the darkest classic story with those women in it? Oh, what do you mean? Oh, the Rezzies. Oh, it is pretty dark for that.
No,
considering they're cannibals.
This is just going to be me though. I mean, Seeds of Doom. And I get people. I put it up on forums and stuff, and I always get people go, "Well, you get really disturbed by the Seeds of Doom," and I'm like, "Well, there's a very specific scene in it that gets me every time I watch it, and it's when Keeler is begging for his life to Sarah to let him go, and Sarah's like, I can't let you go. You're going to kill me."
Yeah. So
and it's really horrible. It's like,
between you and me,
and it hit me as a kid, as a young kid. It has always disturbed me, and I'm not. That's the end.
Yeah, well, Pretty's never been a fan of the Krynoids just because it's like, oh, they're going to take it. It's body horror, isn't it?
I don't like the idea of something taking you over and
Yeah.
you know it.
Yeah, it was like
as you slowly like lose yourself.
Yeah. Actually, this is something Daniel said to me the other day. He says in his headcanon, Paradise Towers and the Happiness Patrol were basically set in the same kind of universe in terms of, because you got the Happiness Patrol could have been like part of the Kangs and stuff, and like another rebel faction in that, like in the Happiness Patrol. I can't remember the names of it now, but Daniel, in your comment section, but it's sort of like either not a prequel, but it's set in the same world. That makes sense.
Yeah,
like in a story way. Yeah, what's it? State of Decay is amazing. Yeah, it's Warriors Gate as well.
State of Decay is actually like my favourite out of that season.
Yeah.
And then you're going to go, what? It's got Leisure Hive in that season.
Oh, yeah, what, that fucking gem? Yeah, oh, God.
But I like
Meglos is all right.
I always like a good vampire story.
Yeah.
So to then have like the Time Lords be vampire hunters.
Yeah.
He's basically what the Tom Bakers get to be Van Helsing.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I want vampires. Vampires aren't normal human beings. They're all huge and massive, and you have entire spaceships to fly into their chests. Like, amazing.
Yeah. Inferno is
dark.
Yeah. Ark in Space.
Ark in Space is like Alien.
Yeah.
It's a prequel. It's a precursor to Alien.
Yeah.
It's like Siege of Doom is a precursor to The Thing.
Yeah, well, it's pretty much the same sort of like thing. It's on the ice.
And they find something in the ice.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I know it's based off originally a book which then predates both of these things. A book called Who Goes There. But the cinematography in the Siege of Doom in those first two parts, I'm guaranteed John Carpenter must have watched it, or whoever he had cinematography.
It must have had some sort of crossover,
because there are points where you see the model shots and you go, This is not lost on me.
Yeah,
they are very. Obviously, they've obviously seen it and gone, I don't know. They've done a great job with the looks of television.
Yeah.
And then they do it in the movie, and it's like, oh, this looks fucking amazing. A little side segue there, but
that's what it's all about, isn't it?
Yeah.
Best of season 18. Yeah, you're not wrong.
I mean, season 18 doesn't have a lot
going for it. It starts off very, very ropey and gets slightly better as it goes on. Horror, Fan Rock, Inferno, Robots. Oh, Robots of Death, that's his number one.
Yeah,
it's bloody good.
Robots.
And we've done a review of that somewhere on the channel.
Somewhere in the past.
Yeah. Just go on to like the Doctor Who playlist and there's like classic review. We need to sort of carry on with that, I think. Planet of Death is actually Planet of Evil, is it? Oh, Planet of Evil,
Planet of Evil has got the best jungle. I love that jungle in that story. Like, for what they managed to achieve in a studio, and some of the sort of faraway shots when they're climbing through the swampy part.
Yeah.
Oh, it's great. And it just feels so alien as well.
Mine too, mate.
Yeah.
I mean, and talk about dark.
I watched it the other day. I was like,
it's just glorious in every way.
You'll be the second non-believer to die.
1986, 1987, if you want to get off. Leisure Hive was shy. Yeah, probably one of, if not the worst Tom Baker story. But, then there's also Underworld.
I don't know. There were
Underworld
few. I mean,
as well.
There are a few terrible.
Later on.
Planet of Evil will have a great Blu-ray. Yeah, no, it probably will.
Yeah.
Isn't that the one that's like heavily influenced by Forbidden Planet?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it is the Hammer horror.
Well, that's it. That era is just pure Hammer horror, isn't it? Maybe that's why they're waiting so long to do it, because they want to
give it justice.
Yeah.
No. I just get, because season 13 is usually regarded as one of the best seasons.
Yeah.
I mean,
14's been coming up a bit more though.
It's hard to argue.
Yeah.
14's already out though.
Oh, it is, isn't it?
Yeah, I was going to say. Yeah. I mean, you've got if
you've got 12 and 14, but not 13.
If 13's gothic horror, 14's like high sci-fi.
Yeah.
I mean, the two like
they're sort of interchanged.
They are so good though.
Yeah. Meglos was awful. I've grown to. It's warmed on me recently, Daniel. Meglos. I mean, okay, it's a bit, the talking plant and all that sort of shit. But I mean, I don't
just want to take over the
power. Yeah. But I don't mind it too much.
Jacqueline Pierce returned again.
Yeah, I think so.
All praise time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Sutek. Yeah. Well, exactly.
I like there's nothing redeemable about it.
No, and what the thing is terrifying again. Is what I find terrifying about most villains is that they genuinely think what they're doing is the right thing to do.
Well, he's not even thinking it's right. It's just like
this is what I do. It's like your evil is my good. I will shred your nervous system into a million fibers.
Like he can't. He's a character that can't even be reasoned with because the Doctor even turns out and he's like, you could use your powers for good.
Your evil is my good.
Right? You want that.
Yeah, and it's like it's the biggest threat because
Well, if he escapes, he kills everything.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and it's like the whole alternate time thing again.
Which, to be fair, I don't know why they ignored it in the new Who, in the new series. Is your get out of jail free card? Is alternative time.
Yeah,
and it's explained in that so eloquently. It's like, oh yeah, well we'll leave now, and we'll just see how the world is if we don't stop Sutek.
Yeah,
and it's like, oh yeah, this is the world.
And the alternate time then becomes a reality.
And then it's beautifully described because it turns out and says, well, everyone. So you're telling me that people have the ability to shape the future? It's like, well, just some small extent. But only it takes someone of his limitless power to destroy the universe. Oh yeah. Fuck.
Yeah. We're and then you get the bit where he's like he's so kind of. He needs to get on with what he's going to do because he sort of snaps at Sarah a few times, but it's like no, yeah, we don't stop him. He's going to fuck everything, and
they are all going to die.
Yeah, forever.
And I love the fact he's having to try to keep battle with the humans there. He's just like, do you not understand your brother's dead for fuck's sake?
Yeah, exactly. He's not your brother anymore. I know it's hard to take, and that's probably the alien nature of the Doctor coming out there. It's just like you have to just dismiss that because it's not him. Power crop, crow.
I like
it's not
necessarily the swampies are annoying as hell.
Yeah.
But I do like the dynamic of Philip Maddock, the guy with the strange face in Mind of Evil. I can't remember the actor's name, but he's in loads of stuff.
Yeah.
And the other guy, the other young guy, and it's their interplay that I find the most interesting in that story, as well as Rogue Dutt.
Oh, Rogue Dutt, yeah.
Rogue Dutt turning up with the gunrunner. He's got the Holy Trinity.
Oh, what, being in Doctor Who Professionals and Blake 7? Brilliant. Oh, yeah. You have to do a Holy Trinity count. Like,
well, that's specific, if they've turned up in those three shows.
Yeah. Like,
it just happens to be
Who deaths.
It just so happens to be our favourite TV programme.
Yeah.
Robot. Oh, there you are, you electronic moron.
You who can't sniff that level grade. No, it never ever will. Which is another thing that I found was bullshit. The Independent doing like the top 60 ever episodes of Doctor Who and fucking Blink was number one, and it's like
it's not like
no. I mean, it's good, and it's really good for like.
Also, how can you pick about a show called Doctor Who, and then your favourite episode doesn't even fucking have him in it?
Yeah. It's a Doctor Light episode, and I don't know. Again, I think it's good. I think maybe it's slightly overrated. He says, even though I put it in my top 3 and my top 10, but that was about 5 years ago. But still, like, no.
I'd say it's good for New Who, but it's still not. Like that list that Paul just put up.
Yeah,
it's unbeatable. Not hold a candle to any of those.
No. And it feels wonderful. Makes it. Oh man, yeah. No, I totally agree with you, Daniel. Like it hits harder now every time you watch it for obvious reasons. You know what I mean? So, but again, and that's how you do like companions leaving back then. Like it wasn't this whole grand climactic thing of this companion is like part of the Doctor or fucking demigod. It was just like
I still find you off some of the saddest ones, or just sort of like,
oh, we're going now.
Yeah, like, oh yeah, I've had enough.
Yeah.
There's two that are like that I can think of. Victoria, when she goes, she's like, I've had enough. I don't reach terrified anymore. I want to leave. And the other one, and I don't like her as much. Is Tegan.
Yeah.
Their exits are just like, oh, actually, yeah. If you go through those situations all the time, and you're running for your life a lot of the time.
I suppose
of course you're eventually going to go, you know what, fuck this.
I suppose the nearest one they got to in the new series was Martha, where she was just like, yeah, I'm not. I can't, you know, I've got you on speed dial, but no, I can't be doing this anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, man after your own heart.
Oh, yeah, I can't stand
to that annoying, whiny, miserable cunt, Donna Noble or Tegan, who was Donna like, watching Peter Davison back recently, Tegan is fucking insufferable.
Yes.
And Janet Fielding is fucking insufferable as well. So it's like she's playing herself. In that, as soon as she, I could not wait for her to go. I wish they'd have fucked her off and just left Nissa in there. Good question from David. What classic stories would you want updated effects on the Blu-ray? I think
Robots of Death. Even though they've already got Blu-ray and it didn't get an updated, and it didn't even update the actual picture quality of Robots of Death.
Did they?
I was just watching her. What did they just not do anything with my favourite story?
No, clearly not, because they you know. It's a strongly worded letter, Harry.
Yes, like, look, I want you to re-release season 14.
Yeah.
With a better Robots of Death.
Visual effects. I don't know. Basically, some of the.
I do agree with you. Like new dinosaurs in Invasion of the Dinosaurs.
Oh yeah, ones that actually look like dinosaurs.
I think I commented on one of the groups on Facebook the other day that I actually prefer the first part of the.
Well, the thing is,
Invasion of the Dinosaurs in black and white.
That would be great, and also it starts off really kind of like chillingly because
everyone's gone. And I love the man who's like, oh, well, you know, and this is shows in the age. Oh, Sunday. Britain's always closed on Sunday. Is it? I fucking wish it was.
Oh, mate, well, it's fucking busier on a Sunday than in any other day of the week. You know, Martha was hot, yes. Clara was hot, yes. Bad character, but hot, yes. Perry was hot, yes. Now what we have exactly. Oh, sorry, my toxic masculinity is showing again. Oh, you telling me you don't think Yaz was hot? You know what? Yaz, to be fair, is kind of hot, but she's also a fucking non-entity.
They didn't give her anything to do.
No,
I like the fact they gave her such a huge ensemble cast to Jodie's character, and then they did nothing with any of the characters.
No.
Apart from the one person who got any character development. And what, the 40-year-old white man?
Oh, yeah, whose cancer was just dismissed. And yet she's supposedly a brilliant woman, according to this fucking production team.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Anyway.
I was a brilliant woman.
Well, you know, I don't think you were that good. Don't think you were even, like, half decent, let alone brilliant. But, you know, they're all pandering to each other, aren't they?
I'm going to start quoting fucking the thick of it and be like, you know how low you are on the list of my favourite Doctors.
Oh,
low.
You could not even.
I can't even get lower than lower.
I mean, yeah. We'll see. Maybe I think even Shooty would probably still be a bit better.
Oh no, he's going to be better. He will be better. It's not going to be difficult.
Yes. Yeah. I know Daniel's a Martha fan. Yeah. No. The thing is, it was almost life imitating art with Martha because
an actually finished Shada. Yeah, no, I agree with you there.
Yeah.
Although it is finished with animation, but it is jarring the two bits. But yeah, I agree with you there. That would be cool.
Let's see.
Have I seen Napoleon?
Oh, I have not. No. I want to. I want to see it because I like.
I've heard people moaning about him, but he's French. So.
Yeah. Yeah. I've heard mixed things about it as well, as in like people were expecting like battles, and there was about 2 battles in it, and most of it was about him, and you kind of go, oh well, yeah. I think
did he march across Europe and then half his army freeze to death?
Freeze to death in Russia. That's probably I think that's in there, and Waterloo obviously.
It's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah. She go into modelling, she's got to just keep her mouth shut. Yeah, exactly. And maybe that's where she's gone, because I think she was she was on like fucking Hollyoaks or something, which is like you may have heard of it, Paul. For those in the North American side of the world, it's like it's kind of like teenage days of our lives. Like, it's probably more I would describe it as.
I can't think of it
like Sunset or like Sunset Beach, but it's like an English version of it. And it's that kind of ilk that she was from. So you can kind of tell where they're getting their talent pool from these days. Amy's Karen Gillan, pretty nice companion, pretty attractive. But she was a pain in the ass sometimes. But yeah, she's all right. I don't rate Yaz, I'm afraid. Oh well, each their own. Again, I don't rate Yaz in any other way in terms of actually acting and being a character. But if we're properly showing our toxic masculinity, then yeah. Which we are right now between friends. I
feel I need to cancel your.
Yeah, and then ourselves.
And I'll cancel myself.
Yeah.
Because I'm such a white knight.
What? Yeah.
Oh no! Don't do it.
Because you know what? If he does that in the next episode, then I will not even bother watching the third one.
My fan.
Yeah.
My fan alone.
Oh. Yeah, that's basically how we're feeling about. Just the thing though, we can disassociate this shit from classic. At least I can, anyway.
Yeah.
Emmerdale. I love women with the northern British accent. All right, so you love Jodie then, did you?
Clara.
Oh, that north here,
Oh, you like Jodie, do you?
Go on in the Woolpack, get back from there. Oh, yeah, maybe I'll fried chip sandwich. Yeah, I mean, I'm brilliant. I'm brilliant. Fuck off. Not you, Paul, Jodie. I think the women from City of Death and Robots of Death are the best. Yeah.
Oh, you mean Pamela Salem?
Yes.
Oh, she's so lovely.
And comes back again in Remembrance of the Daleks.
Yeah.
Apparently,
she's got the Holy Trinity as well.
Oh really?
Yeah, she's in Doctor Who and Professionals. She's in Professionals in 2 different stories.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Apparently Rose as well. Like personally, she does nothing wrong. I cannot stand Rose. No.
I didn't like Billy Piper to begin with.
Even now, like I don't.
I did that thing in 2004. Doctor Who's coming back. Yeah. And Billy Piper's going to be the companion. Billy Piper.
Yeah, and she's just. Okay, first season wasn't quite so bad, but the second season she just becomes an unlikable asshole on so many levels, and a fucking bunny boiler.
I think the chemistry was better between her and
Christopher Eccleston. Yeah, because it was more sort of like an uncle kind of vibe. You know what I mean?
I could listen to Jodie talk all day long.
Daniel, the story of Shard and potential with the version we have is a challenge to what? Yeah. No, I get that. I mean, I do quite like what they did with the animation.
I like it, but it's also really wacky because it's a Douglas Adams story, and Douglas Adams doesn't do anything other than wacky.
Yeah.
And that's not. It's not. It is a criticism, and it isn't. I mean, I don't mind it because I like quite wacky, random stuff, and I do like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. So
yeah. So Paul loves a bit of the up north, like manky accent. She's just kind of. She should go join EastEnders as a shot. Well, the trouble is EastEnders is like down south, mate. She'd need to go to like Coronation Street or something.
Or Corrie.
Yeah, Corrie. Yeah, which is probably her acting ability.
China was never finished, and there was
Yeah. But in terms of the animation side of it, it was all right. Yeah.
I didn't mind it. It just had some weird, like I said, it had some Douglas Adams weird.
Well, yeah, like bicycles through town and all that.
Also, it's not only that. It's like how he tricks the computer.
Oh yeah.
Like doing what he needs it to do.
Yeah.
There was some. I think obviously Tom Baker must have loved doing it because he did enjoy. These little bits. You
guys watching I'm a Celeb?
No.
I've heard Nigel Farage is on it, but yeah, that's all I know who's on it that I've heard of.
If that's the caliber of fucking celeb.
Well, then I suppose you can tie it back to Doctor Who because Colin Baker was on it a few years ago, wasn't he? And he won it.
Did he?
Yeah, yeah, he did. I think it was maybe about 10 years ago now.
Rose was a selfish, stroppy teenager.
Yeah. That goes back to fear when it's just like,
maybe
it's a bit loud for a dead
I
bloke.
was about, maybe he's just a bit thick.
But, yeah.
You know you love that line.
Oh, yeah. What, Rise of the
Cybermen.
Cybermen. Maybe she's a bit
thick.
Oh, yeah. I had kids once.
What?
Oh, it sounds like attention to me. Fuck off, Rose. Anyway, moving on. Another RTD fucking
I did
creation.
throw my phone at the telly earlier.
Oh, yeah. There's several bits in the Star Beast that are just like, wow, like laughably bad, laughably on the nose. And but we won't talk about that now. We'll let other people who have probably kind of got like a big foundation of doing this stuff already that that they can get away with doing it, but it's the smaller ones that suffer. So we won't for the moment. But yeah, I'm sure you'll be able to find out what we're talking about in due course if you haven't already. Right, here we go. Okay, let's strap in. I like Class. I thought it was well done.
I like Class.
I thought it was all right.
I think the teacher in it.
I know Daniel can't stand it.
It's the teacher in it that makes it. And if she'd actually been cast as the Doctor over fucking Jodie, it might have actually worked. Because you needed someone who was actually like alien,
but also feminine at the same time. Yeah,
that's true. Also, I can't go. I'm not doing it.
We're getting there again. I know exactly what you're going to say. It's to do with the cast, isn't it? Yeah. And another thing about the fucking start about that episode with the 1 unit soldier who's not wearing a helmet. We'll let you find out about that as well. And it's like, I wonder why that is. Jesus Christ. Class shows what happens when you take the project seriously and not silly over the top. You're going to get two further opinions from each other. Class was pissed. Oh, that's great. That's great.
I love the fact that Class ended on a cliffhanger.
I know what it is. I didn't watch it, but I know what it is.
It's like, it's going to get a second season. This will be amazing.
I like Torchwood. Children of Earth is the only one really worth watching as far as I'm concerned of Torchwood. I mean, there's a few okay things in the first season, and then the second season's a bit. But Children of Earth is the only one that's
all a little bit too Welsh.
Yeah, true. But then you've got Peter Capaldi in Children of Earth, so I thought it was great. But then they went really weird
aliens that use children
as drugs. And again, there's one thing I will never agree with is when she goes, "Oh, the Doctor would turn his back in shame." No, he wouldn't. He'd come back and try and save the day.
He would save the day.
Yeah, he would be like, "You lot, you're acting like idiots. You lot, fuck off. You're not using these kids for drugs. Don't test
stop
me.
doing that thing."
Yeah.
And if it was the old series, he would have killed them all.
Yeah, he would have.
He would have found.
I don't use guns and I don't kill.
No, I don't use guns and I don't use kill. But I will overload this thing that's going to kill all of you.
Yeah, exactly. Sit in Wales, but I'm an American, so I'll leave that alone. I can't speak. Yeah, I suppose there's several Waleses in America, isn't there, Paul? Oh dear, yeah. But I do want to revisit your fine country again once again. I went to New York about 2016 now. With my late grandmother,
a while ago now.
And then I've been to fucking 7 years ago, and that was on a bucket list, so we decided to go. It was good. I think you need to visit it a couple of times though to get everything. But Florida when I was like 4, Disney World.
That doesn't really count.
Nah, don't really remember much from that. Torchwood. It was a different story. Yeah, and I mean. At the time, you could think, "Oh yeah, this is like what happens behind the scenes when the Doctor isn't there." And okay, that's what they were going for. But no, he wouldn't turn his back. Like, he'd get involved.
Yeah, I agree with you. He definitely has.
Yeah. And I mean, that's been the problem since 2005, really. Like, it's like not going, not really, it's earthbound and it needs to be set in the world we live in. It's like, no, the whole point of watching Doctor Who is that it's not set in the world we live in. You go fucking escape and go to different parts of the universe.
Yeah, exactly.
Otherwise, what's the point? Felt good sending home Wales in the World Cup. That was a good result. That was. And did they qualify? Have they qualified for the Euros this year? I don't think they have they? Or I'm not sure. Maybe they did. America's South is like your North. Or Wales. Funny thing is, they would say the same thing about us, and actually, Daniel, being Scottish, would say the same thing about all of England. Sean, I relocated to Germany. Oh, did you? Oh, I did not know. I thought you were still in the States, mate. You're from New York originally, right? Or did I misremember that and I've really insulted you now?
Or you're just like you're a completely different person, and you're like,
Well, Paul's one of the OGs, man, back from like the early days of like the TARDIS zone and stuff, like Noel's channel. That was it was really good to see it, mate. As is the rest of you, obviously, but I still keep in contact with Daniel. So we're sort of like the last two bastions of the original kind of TARDIS zone thing. Fair enough to Scotland. NYC born and raised. Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, I thought so. Have you guys got any questions or anything? Any other sort of talking points? Because we kind of just got covered.
Yeah, I've run out of ideas.
I've run out of beer as well, which I should have got more, but never mind. What were your favourite PS2 games back in the day? Oh yeah, no, we've done a couple of little videos on that in favourite gaming memories as well.
But not specifically PlayStation.
Not PS2. Metal Gear Solid 2.
That's a low-hanging fruit, Sean.
Yeah, but it's Metal Gear Solid. compared to most other games.
Punisher.
Punisher was good. Here Comes the Pain. Smackdown game. Yeah. Well, yeah, whatever FIFA game was there at that time. It's been a long time. Yeah, I'd probably say Metal Gear Solid. What about yourself? Well, Metal Gear Solid 2, but yeah, Metal Gear Solid 1 obviously was on PS1.
Yeah, there was a lot on PS2.
Yeah.
And a lot.
Jack and Daxter, or was that PS1? No, it was PS1, wasn't it?
Oh, Gran Turismo 2.
Oh, yeah, Gran Turismo.
Gran Turismo 3 by
GTA 3. GTA 3, of course, and Vice City as well. Could you forget those? Come up to Scotland so we can get pissed and talk classic and wrestling. Yes. Oh, well, if there's like once again, WWE needs to do like a pay-per-view in Scotland or something, so then we can properly go up there and we can do a stream from up there. Yeah. PlayStation is more of a blue. Oh, Gran Turismo, Metal Gear Solid, man. Good man. I like the early Call of Duty games where it was actually like kind of like Medal of Honor.
Well, yeah, when you leveled up, it basically was how good your weapons were.
Yeah.
Not how different. Like you could suddenly become super fast in a tank.
Yeah.
Hardest game I've ever played.
I know this is probably going to be like if Tom is like somewhere working in the background, and I put any of the Soulsborne games really.
I hate all of them.
Yeah, they're just not. I mean, if you can say, "Oh, get good," but then
I'd say any Paradox interactive game is fucking ridiculous.
They are difficult.
I also quite like games that don't have a hardness setting.
Yeah,
and they're just as hard.
It's just
Gran Turismo is actually a good example.
Yeah.
This is as hard as it's going to be, and you're
like,
oh, okay.
Every Gran Turismo and course running over people and shit. Yeah, I mean, and the fact that you could not only shoot on this, but get your money back as well afterwards. So, poor service there. I want a refund.
Cancel you.
Yeah, cancel. Yeah, I think we've said enough in this stream already to get us cancelled 10 times, and we're being quite mild, I think, compared to what we were saying off camera.
Yeah.
But we'll leave that to your imagination, all you fine folk out
Look,
there.
if I don't say it didn't happen.
Yeah, if I didn't see it, it didn't happen either.
Yeah, no, I didn't see the Star Beast, any of it. I wish I hadn't.
Yeah. Again,
I wish I could just let it go. I wish I could just let it go.
Because again, I was saying this at the time.
I was like,
that's it, done. Oh, like 60th anniversary, yeah. Oh no, another shit.
Me back
it's
in.
like,
It's
it's like, yeah, but with Doctor Who right now, it's like, yeah, but this, yeah, but that.
but David Tennant's back. Horror movies. Mine are all going to be science fiction horror movies, though.
Top 3 horror films were Nightmare on Elm Street, the original.
The Thing, Predator, and Alien.
Well, yeah, I mean, going
not in that order. That's going 3, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Evil Dead 2. So I suppose could you count that as a horror? It's just a horror comedy.
Evil Dead 2 is a comedy. Evil Dead.
Yeah.
Is a horror movie.
Shaun of the Dead. You could consider that a horror movie. Yeah, I agree with you, Paul. That was my number 1, but obviously Harry.
It's not my number 1. It's my number 1 and my number 2. My Lost, because it has Hellbent attached to it. Yeah, and also it also has Fear the Raven. Is also
Face the Raven. Yeah,
that one.
Yeah.
Before it, so all 3 lead to a fucking terrible story.
Well, it was just a complete shit show and letdown, as Paul said. What will they do for like Trout and Blue?
Animation.
Yeah, I think that's where it's going to go, Daniel. Animation. Hopefully, though, like we were saying before, even though it's Disney, but maybe the animation's gone up quite. Hopefully, it's gone up in quality.
I mean, some of the quality of the animation's been fucking shocking.
Yeah.
I showed you the Web of Fear.
Yes.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it was awful. It was like a weird kind of amalgamation of, like, speaking of PS2, but maybe not even that, like PS1 graphics in the background, and then these weird kind of
I didn't understand
like cardboard kind of looking fucking.
Why don't they just use the animation they were doing for the Avatar, the other animations? But
Blink, Flesh and Stone. Oh, it's in like what New Who Gems? Yeah, Blink, Flesh and Stone, Human Nature, Family of Blood. I thought that was great. What else? Just go back and rewatch our top 10 videos, Paul. Cheap plug again.
Hey, get some more views.
And actually, Harry and Tom have done theirs more recently than mine and Jack's.
Yeah,
so,
I can't
check theirs out.
what's on that list. It's probably
Day of the Doctor was in there somewhere.
Day of the Doctor was my number 1. That's because I'm a fanboy.
Yeah, of actually
good. I can't help it. I love fan service.
Yeah, when it's done
I've basically spent 10 years not getting any fan service.
Not been in the library. Oh yeah, Silence in the Library. Yeah, that's great. What else? Oh yeah, Dalek, of course. Yeah, actually, just Dalek. Every Dalek episode since then has been pretty shit, to be honest.
Yeah.
Harry Lloyd. Yeah, exactly. Human Nature, Family, like Harry Lloyd. Yeah. Who was rumoured at one point to be the Doctor before Matt Smith got it.
Top 5 Next Generation episodes. Oh,
there's the one good that was the Inner Light. That's probably my favourite. That's the one where Patrick Stewart becomes someone else, an old man, and then he lives like a whole life, and then comes back, and that's where you get the fucking the flute from, I think. Yeah. That's one.
Wolf 359.
Wolf 359, yeah.
Well, when he gets basically turned into a Borg.
Yeah.
One of the Law.
Episodes. Yeah, Law. Yeah.
Any Q. You're quite like Q turning up. It's always quite fun.
Trouble is,
this is my note. This is the trouble. I don't know the episode. They all bleed into one.
Yeah.
I watched the whole season and I'm like,
not Sub Rosa or whatever the fucking thing that's called. With her, what was it? Crusher's grandmother. Yeah, that was great.
My name is Ned Quint.
Yeah, Ned Quint. I'm Ned Quint. Yeah.
Oh no! And she lights the candle. And
Chain of Command. Yeah. Chain of Command. That's right. Legion. I can't remember. I remember hearing about it, but I don't think I ever watched it, Paul. Chain of Command. Any chance of a Fracture Point gig in Scotland? Well, you say that we might have a gig in Scotland next year. I'll keep you posted. But I don't know whereabouts in Scotland yet, but yeah, potentially Scotland and Ireland as well. So I'll keep you informed of that, mate.
Picard almost gets broken.
Oh yeah, David Warner. Yeah, I mean David Warner's great, but I don't know if he's Cardassian. Do you know what I mean? It was good at the time.
He's played a Klingon. He's played a human.
Well, might as well finish the trio then, I guess.
Exactly.
Yeah, fair enough.
David Warner's turned up and done all sorts, and still does. I mean, he turned up in 2 movies.
Yeah.
Turned up in 5 and 6.
Yeah.
As completely different characters.
Yeah. And he was in Jack's favourite Doctor Who episode, Cold War, as well, wasn't he?
Is Cold War his favourite episode?
Yeah, number one.
I don't even watch our own videos.
Yeah. Not ones where he's not in it.
I only watch
before.
myself.
There's some ones
that... vain motherfucker.
Russell.
I only care about my own opinion.
I don't care about
anybody else.
Yeah.
I've got my own agenda.
Yeah, that's it.
I don't deal with my own agenda.
Binary.
It's such low hanging
fruit. Didn't make any sense.
Have you gone to London Comic Con?
Yeah, we did. We went. The one in Earl's Court?
We met Tom Baker.
Well, you did.
I did. I got a picture with him. It's on my wall.
You went the day before, then I took.
I only have it hung on the other wall. That's why you don't see it when you're showing it. But I'll put it up.
Then I went.
Do you know? For the next stream, if I'm at home, I'll stick it up behind me. There's a picture of me and him together.
Yeah. But then I met up with you the next day. I took my daughter, who was 6 months old at the time.
Bless her.
Yeah, and she loved it. She used to sleep for most of it. But that was fun. And that's where Daniel, you'll appreciate this, where me and Harry met JR. Good old Jim Ross.
Jim Ross.
Yeah, and all the doctors were there, but we didn't meet any of them because the queues were fucking ridiculous. That was 2018. That was pretty good.
You're totally correct.
Yeah.
And also Paul, Paul is
Paul.
definitely correct.
Yeah, Matt Smith was lightning in the bottle.
Is a lightning in the bottle.
Yeah.
I actually miss him. Each time I come back and go, oh yeah, Matt Smith, and I'm like, I don't think about it, and I watch his stories. And fuck, he was good.
Yeah,
like he came out of nowhere.
Yeah, well, literally, like I don't think he'd done anything on TV before then.
And he does capture, like, he's the only one who's ever captured Troughton.
Yeah, with a little bit of Peter Davison.
Yeah, I mean, how you managed to mix those two doctors together? That's such a weird way of doing it. But he manages to pull it off.
Yeah. Especially like Beast Below. Only in his second episode, and he's very much like that. Yeah. Very alien.
There's a point where when he quickly like does his explanation of like what's going on, and it's like, oh, it's Peter Davison. Yeah. And then you see him later on, and he's like getting angry, and on you kind of go, oh, that's Troughton.
Yeah, no human gets to call me today. Oh, but that's peak Tom Baker right there, isn't it?
In the early 80s, I wasn't even alive.
Well, mid 80s babies, I'm afraid. Yeah, sorry, mate. It's just made you feel old, Paul. Sorry. Oh yeah, late, I guess. Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, mid to late 80s, 87, 86. But we're old bastards now. So for the audience that they want, they're aiming at.
Yeah, no, it's not aimed at me anymore.
No, it's not. It's not aimed at anyone.
You can't have any good things anymore.
No, it's not aimed at anyone.
We don't get He-Man anymore. We don't get Doctor Who.
We don't get any decent Star Wars. We don't get, apart from Picard season 3, which was an anomaly. James Storm. Oh yeah, mate. I see the picture of you on your Twitter, Daniel, with James Storm. Yeah, that's really cool. And Dixie Carter, who OGS Central calls her Horseface, wasn't it? Or was that? That's Karen Jarrett. He talks about. Yeah. You can tell Smith was inspired by Troy and did a great job. I mean, I thought Series 7 was probably the start of the decline. I thought it was pretty shit overall. Like, yeah, again, I think the only good episode I remember of that being was Cold War with the Ice Warriors. Everything else was pretty shit.
That was the 50th anniversary year, wasn't it, that one?
Yeah. So the first half when you still had Amy and Rory, so you had the Silent of the Daleks, which, I don't know, it was all right.
It's one of those ones, it's like, I have seen the pattern, and I appreciate that season 4 and understanding the pattern.
Yeah, in terms of like trying to,
So when you got the first one, The Rings of Akaten, he talks about Susan and being there with the granddaughter. That's your William Hartnell throw in.
Yeah.
The second story is the Cold War, Ice Warriors, Patrick Troughton villain, mostly associated with. They also mention the Hads, which is in Croton.
Right,
So you've got your second Doctor quote. The third one, which is the ghostly one.
What, Hyde?
Hyde. It's got the Metabela Stree crystal, which
Pertwee.
is John Pertwee,
Yeah.
which he then uses to find the mate. You've got Into the TARDIS, which is your Tom Baker Fourth Doctor story. Tom Baker's synonymous with massive amounts of large amounts of interior of the TARDIS, from which they run around. He is also the most zany. He is also the most zany in that story when he actually pretends that he's going to set fire, like destroy the TARDIS with them all in it.
Yeah.
And then tricks them all into doing what he wants to do, which is a Tom Baker thing to do. The Crimson Horror is your Peter Davison throwback because it has mention of Tegan and an Australian companion.
And I think the Doctor, the Widow, and the Wardrobe
has also
got that block, which has the Androzani reference as well.
Yes.
Yeah. Although that's Series 6 block, but still. Yeah.
You've got that mentioned in the 5th episode.
Totally agree, Paul, about Peter Capaldi. Sorry, just to acknowledge the comment there. For me, he is the best actor to play the Doctor in the new series. But again, like we've said several times in several lists and videos, he's just let down by atrocious writing.
He's also the master of the monologue.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
And to be fair, I think he proves it in Heaven Sent, and partly proves it in
Orient Express.
That he could do it on his own.
Yeah. And quite frankly,
he doesn't need a companion.
Yeah, I was going to say, quite frankly,
just talk to himself.
I would have been happy with just the entire season of just him on his own, meeting like one-off companions on each episode, or even just doing it by himself. Oh yeah, again, yeah, those two. Well, the Rings of Akaten and Moon and
Kill the Moon
are in my top 10, and Kill the Moon is in every single one of our top 10 worst.
It's terrible.
Yeah, it's like the Moon's a fucking egg. So hang on, so you're telling me that we have to take into consideration that every time we see the fucking Moon on a Doctor Who episode, oh, it's the space dragon egg, and how like lucky is that? I'm 28. Oh yeah, and Rings of Akaten for me is just like fucking Doctor Who musical at the end, and it's like apparently there's going to be a whole episode, but it's going to be a musical Shooty Zero if rumours are to be believed. So fuck off. As far as that is concerned. Honestly. And I think, it's just like, of all the things
that every American show has done.
Yeah. It's Disney now, isn't it, mate? Disney.
Christ's sake.
I'm 28 and Who ain't for me anymore either. Yeah, Daniel, I agree, but I think maybe we're all sort of older souls than our bodies let on. Definitely. The Invasion of Time really fleshed out that the TARDIS. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, it all looked quite similar, but I see what you're saying. Like, there's so many different levels to it, and I think you need levels in the TARDIS.
What came after the Crimson Horror?
What, in Series 7? I think it was Nightmare in Silver.
That one is... I can't remember. There is a link to it.
Well, it's a Siberiad in that.
And it's also... Is it the Silver Carbuncle?
Yeah, I think so.
I think is a... Oh no, it's all to do with... Oh no, it's either Spare Parts. It's a Big Finish. A link. Yeah. There's a link in that, which is to the Big Finish and to the Sixth Doctor.
Yeah, agreed. After that Paternoster gang of shit. Can't stand them.
Yeah, no, I liked them at the time, and now I've come back and revisited them. I like them less and less.
One action, I'll go and check that. It's the best. Oh yeah, agreed. And I mean, it's not only that, but it's a good. It's like an ode to grief and how you can get through grief, and how that's essentially what he was doing. It was him grieving for the episode, but there were so many different layers to it as well, man. And just like the montage sequences, the Shepherd's Boy theme, and just everything about it was sublime, and it was a love letter to Peter Capaldi and how good his Doctor is. But then and it's the first episode where he isn't overshadowed by the fucking companions, because it's like the Clara show, just like it became the Bill show later on.
Yeah.
Murder on the is another filth episode. Well, in some ways, yeah, but I do like the fact that he has to basically think of something in 66 seconds and then dismiss the person who's about to die and be like, look, I can't save you, but the next person is fine. You're going to die. What? Yeah. Let's just get on with this. I
quite like Gus.
Yeah.
It's that kind of like, oh well, you think you know what's going on? No, I'm going to blow you all up.
Remind me what was Crimson Horror.
Crimson
Oh,
Horror,
yeah.
little creature attached to an old lady. She's
Died down her rig.
She's turning. Yeah, that's about as much as I can remember that story.
The thing is, I've only watched it once, and I felt no need to go back to it again. It's because he does that weird. The first 10 minutes, he's like pretending to be Northern. So maybe you'll like that, Paul. I don't know. But yeah, he's and then he starts putting on the voices. He does Christopher Eccleston. He then puts on. You hear Tom Baker's voice come out of him at one point in that episode. Yeah, and it's I do need to go back and watch it, but I'm not really bothered about that. I don't. That's in your. Was that in? No, that was in Tom's top 10 worst.
Top 10, yeah, but it easily could be in mine.
Yeah, that's dishonourable mention. Are you watching Survivor Series tonight, lads? I'm tempted, but I've got work at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. He doesn't, so you can stay here and watch it if you want. And then, but yeah, I don't know. I'll probably end up watching it tomorrow night, mate. After little one's gone to bed. I might check the results to see if it's worth watching. I'm sure the War Games match itself will be good, but yeah, it depends. Like,
well, is it all of them are Survivor Series matches, or is it just 2 at the end?
No, well, there's I think you got there's like the women's War Game match, and then the men's War Game match, and then there's like I think there's a couple of like other matches.
Interesting, you should mention this, David.
We've got Switch tonight for Doctor Who story. Well, we've got Fiction Doctor Who playlist somewhere.
I do have an idea, and it is this was a challenge laid down by.
Let's not mention any politics in
Jack.
the fucking episode for once.
Oh no, there's no politics in it. It's pure science fiction and entertainment.
Yeah, this is how it should be.
The gauntlet was laid down to create a story that was good enough for Peter Davison, Tegan, and Turlough by Jack, the last pitching.
Oh, it was
like make a good episode.
We were back here, wasn't it? Yeah.
And I was like. Anyway, it will have Vok robots in it because they are my favourite robots.
Yeah.
The premise is.
Didn't you do a little comic like you wrote?
I have written a comic. Yeah. I have written it as a story, a 4-part story.
Of course,
not very long.
You won't go more than 4 parts.
But it's to do with Autons trying to infiltrate a colony, and then using the guise of the robots.
Oh yeah.
So more of it is like I've got this cliffhanger in mind where the Doctor takes apart one of the robots' heads, and underneath is this just the Autons' head. Yeah. So thinking it's going to be the robots that are killing people, and it's not really robots. They're Autons. Oh my god! So like a double bluff surprise. I don't know.
I think that's weird. One that I would do is actually kind of like a sort of dream/nightmare a while back, where you just make the Cybermen almost like not slasher villains, horror, but you make them horrifying again, and you have them like cut out power supplies, and you have them just stalking people, and the way that they convert people is snatching them from like their houses at night time and stuff like that, and just making it was just
you're basically making a better closing time.
Yeah, exactly, pretty much, yeah. But just making them actually like scary again.
I really enjoyed the 50th anniversary special. So
yeah, I think it's a decent fun romp, especially I put on Twitter earlier, or X, whatever the fuck it's called now. Said whatever happens tonight, folks, just remember we have this glorious scene. It was the Matt Smith, Tom Baker scene.
Yeah.
And I think, and some of the parts in the story itself were a bit rote. I was just throwing the Zygons in there, but then I think you needed to have them to build up to it.
I'm sorry, if the Zygons were bloody useless in their titular
story,
Terror of the Zygons, they are actually analyse their modus operandi.
Yeah,
they are terrible.
Yeah, they're a bit wayward.
I mean. I think I've done this with the Terror of the Zygons before, but I will point it out again. Is that they don't check on Harry.
No.
When Madler gets murdered, they don't check on Harry.
No.
Harry then interrupts at just the right time to stop the Scarasan from like basically smushing the Doctor.
Yeah.
They don't check on the Doctor after he gets electrocuted on low power. They just give him a little
They
kick
just assume that
and
he's
go,
dead.
well, no human could have survived that.
Yeah.
Then they have fire regulations that mean that when the fire alarm goes off, they have to leave the control room.
Yeah.
And they follow those rules like really strictly.
Yeah.
They leave the control room uncontrolled. And then there are no safeguards on the self-destruction. You just have to twiddle some knobs and then run away.
Twiddling knobs seems to be
and then
the
lock them
direction
out.
they're going in now.
All you have to do is snap off a thing to lock you out of the control room, which should be the most secure fucking room in the on the ship. So yes, I love Terror of the Zygons, but I also loathe it by the same reason. Is that atmospherically it is amazing.
Daniel, which train wreck would you rather rewatch? Destination Skaro or Taken vs Goldberg? I mean,
what was Destination
Skaro? That's the name of the Davros Gate thing. I'd rather watch Taken vs Goldberg purely. I don't know. I mean, at least like Destination Skaro is only 5 minutes. But then
how much of my life do I want to throw away?
At least the Undertaker won that match, but it was fucking horrible. I would say, piss off, Daniel. a few throwaway pieces, yeah, 100%.
The Tom Baker scene.
I really think he might.
He's looking really, really old now. Isn't
he goes from that. He's lost a lot of weight. I mean, that's just how age works, though, I guess, isn't it? But
he is like
he's 89 now. Yeah. But yeah, and I'd like the way it opens with you've got the old school titles and it goes into top.
Yeah, there's another stupid fucking like, this is what happened 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Whilst I'm standing in front of a green screen.
Yeah, and then it interchanges between the two of them.
Tapping away on a fucking typewriter.
I'm going, there's something missing that I've really lost and blah 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 blah. I'm like, well, yeah, no, that was horrible. The Stellar Manipulator,
yes and no. Yes, it's a cool idea, but I think it's one of those ones. I think you need to leave the past of the Time Lords and the Doctor's past alone.
Yeah, well,
you have to leave it alone. I mean, Chris Chibnall decided to break the cardinal rule, and basically we as a fandom are just ignoring it.
And
it didn't happen. It's a bit like the 1996 film where we find out the Doctor's half human on his mother's side. We just ignore it. That line's in that movie. None of us go, no, he's definitely not human. He's just a time.
And I mean, to be fair, even with the whole thing of
with Rassilon and Omega and the Dark Times, it needs to be left as this vague thing. Yeah, it has to be left.
Yeah, because I mean, you need to, like we've said on some other videos before, you have to kind of leave a little bit of vague mystery. Yeah. Because otherwise, it's the point. And I mean, I suppose that was the whole thing they were trying to go for in Series 6, where like the question that should never be answered and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. And it's like, but then then Chris Chibnall went and fucking answered it, didn't he? He couldn't help himself. Who is Doctor Who? Well, it could be anyone really. It could be 5 million years old. It could be fucking some random kid. And the fact that Russell T Davies has said, no, I'm not going to rewrite that. I think it's great. Like, probably your idea.
Yes, I would. Kaldor's the city the robots and
robots,
originates from.
Penguin Random House books and there's stuff. Yeah, half canon. Yeah, I mean, I suppose maybe like Big Finish is that kind of wheelhouse.
That bridge.
Yeah. What I found so ironic about the whole Davros thing again is that minutes after that Children in Need special on Twitter, Big Finish announced the Davros with the Davros imagery.
Like proper. There he is. Like, we don't believe this bullshit.
Yeah, it's like
we're gonna go totally with Davros.
Big Finish now part of the whole fucking collectivization of Doctor Who now under Disney, and yet Big Finish have gone, oh no, there is Davros. That's who he is.
Also, why
have I been wearing a Randy Walton shirt tonight? I did, and then I threw up on it and threw it in the bin. Well, I'll be wearing my Randy Orton shirt tonight.
Also, when they brought Davros back as Julian Bleach, why did they give him Davros's voice?
Well, because that is his voice. You know what I mean?
But I mean, like, it's slightly
he's accentuating the voice so it sounds like him, but they didn't put like the actual effect that they used.
It did sound weird.
Because weirdly enough, when I first saw him, I thought, oh fucking hell, it's Nida, because he kind of looked a bit like Nida because he got the similar sort of hairstyle and stuff. And then as soon as they said Davros, I was like, what? Anyway, we've gone over that. Well, Blandy Borton. Oh yeah, no, we've got this ongoing funny debate that I think Randy Orton's overrated to shit.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, there we go. I'm not the only one.
He basically has a diamond cutter and he doesn't do it as half as well as Diamond Dallas Page used
to. Thank you. That's what I'm saying.
It's a bit like giving fucking Kevin Owens the Stone Cold Stunner. It's
dull. It's not the same. No, I've never seen it with him. This whole monotone.
I don't get it.
I'm the Viper. I go around doing this to people.
Reminds me of? His face reminds me of Morph.
Yeah. I think I did in my head, but I'm not really that entertained. And then the apex predator and all that shit. It's the same. I feel the same way about Randy Orton that Daniel feels about Cody Rhodes. He thinks he's overrated as shit. So we're kind of.
No, Cody Rhodes sucks as well. They're rubbish. Both third generation crap wrestlers.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Gonna go, but great stream. Family, I'm out. David, nice one, dude. Thank you very much, mate. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. We're gonna give it a couple of minutes anyway because I'm hungry.
Okay, last round, I promise. Okay.
No, keep going. Right. RTD by not retconning time and style has killed Doctor Who. Yeah. Well, yeah. Again, and that's what I'm still maintaining that I reckon it was RTD probably gave him the idea in the first place.
It was me, Austin. Yeah. It was me all along.
Now you know, you dumb son of a bitch. All right. I think on that note, it's nearly 2 hours, so I think that'd be a good time to call it. Paul, Daniel, David, anyone else lurking, thank you very much for coming along and having a rant with us about all things Doctor Who, the good, the bad, and the ugly, as said in the description.
Very true. Very true.
Yeah, if you want us to do more lives like this, if you want us to go live after the next episode,
next week.
Yeah, next week. If we so bother,
let's just hope next week's better.
I mean, it can't be much worse. I mean, again, and then there were small glimmers of things that I thought were okay.
It was his sadness in his eyes.
Yeah.
David Tennant does sad eyes so well.
And he was a bit more understated this time. And like the stuff with the sonic screwdriver I thought was cool. It doesn't look like a fucking dildo anymore.
He doesn't. He doesn't.
Put it slip.
He doesn't use it like a fucking magic wand. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm happy about.
Yeah. And the new TARDIS looks amazing. That's about it, really. So as I can say, and again, there were a couple of funny things between, Donna Sylvia, I thought was all right, actually. She wasn't as annoying as she was originally. Yeah. She was just like, shut up, you can't remember, don't remind her about this and all that. And yeah, that was, but yeah, other than that. Paul, you look after yourself, mate. Yeah, and we'll, always a pleasure indeed. Cheers. Daniel, I didn't ask, are you watching Survivor Series tonight, or are you going to watch it tomorrow? Because I'm going to probably not watch it tonight. I'll come around, but I'm not watching it. So I've got it all out tonight. Dude, totally understand that, man. Totally understand that. Yeah. So I mean, we talked a little bit about Paradise House. Maybe we'll do like an actual review video on that if you want us to. I mean, it's been a while since we did a classic review anyway. So
yeah, we're a bit overdue.
Yeah. Anyway, take it easy, guys. Bye. Fuck you, Oscar Davis.